Hey, you guys, welcome back. The last time we met, I was headed out on a road trip. I remember sharing that information with you, and we were in for some good weather. A pretty good weather system was moving in, and I did get ahead of it, and I did make it down there in time without any incident with weather, which was really awesome. However, I had ordered a set of tires. My tires were okay on my car, but we've been having a lot of ice storms lately. And so I just wanted to feel safe. My tires weren't brand new. And so the town that I go to, Rochester, has a Costco that has really good tires at a nice, affordable price. We don't have a Costco in the town where I live, or the nearest city to me is an hour and a half away for a Costco. So I ordered tires, knowing I'd be down there and I could have them put on. So, so I got down there, had my appointment to have my tires put on. And when I went to pick my car back up, they told me that my passenger side muffler had rusted apart due to the salt. I live way up north. We have a lot of extreme winter weather. It's wet and slushy one day, and then it freezes hard, and can stay sub-zero for days. As a matter of fact, we're in a deep freeze right now. But anyway, the my passenger side muffler had rusted through and that it was barely hanging on. So they wired it up for me and said that I needed to get it to my mechanic as soon as I could. And so there I was, 300 miles from home. It's a weekly visit that I do because I attend ministry school, and the unexpected. I didn't freak out. I didn't get mad. Uh, I didn't jump up and down and shout hooray either, but we talked about keeping our peace. What are we being intentional about to keep our peace throughout every day? So no matter what comes our way, we're prepared. Well, my name's Roxanne, and my channel is The Overflow, where we at our age share the golden years of our age, share the overflow of all of the experiences, all of the collective wisdom, all the mistakes, and all the victories that we've experienced in our many years can overflow into the lives of those that are still struggling or maybe looking for strategies, have come across unexpected situations, or maybe even long term situations that they've been battling, and they're looking for strategies and ways out. So I'm glad you're here. And I've noticed that there have been a few comments now, too. Thank you for sharing all of that collective wisdom that we have. So I'm just going to settle back. It's evening. I got home late last night, actually, in another snowstorm up north here. Only about the last 35 minutes or so did I have to drive in snow squalls, which I'm used to. I was born and raised up here, raised for the most part. And and I remember telling you I was turning 69, so I've had enough years to know how to drive in this weather. And so I got home late, volunteered at the antique mall today, and so I know it's late, but I thought, golly, I missed my Wednesday uh, film. And I want you to know, I said I would try to film or what is it even called? Upload a video? I thought I would try to upload a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but how silly. I just seemed like it made sense to me. Wednesday is the day that I'm either driving back home from Rochester. Remember, it's a weekly school that I attend classes, And if I'm not driving home that day, then I'm spending more time with my family down there. And so I don't know if videos are going to work on Wednesday or not, but this is brand new. This is only my fourth video. And so I'm still open-minded and I'm hopeful and I'll just see how it works. We're getting more and more subscribers each time a video uploads. So people are wanting to hear from you, wanting to hear from me, the things that we've walked through and the things that we've shared. And so back to being in Rochester, the unexpected events, and knowing that we talked last time about being intentional about making lifestyle choices that help us to walk through every day, no matter what it brings, with a genuine sense of peace. And I talked to you about how I commit my first 2 hours after I get up and make coffee. My first 2 hours are undistracted, uninterrupted time of just being in the Word, being in prayer, having dialogue with God, thinking about what my day has for me as it comes along. And I have to tell you, I discovered that being in another person's home, having a beautiful hostess, good close friend. We've been friends for over 13 years. And she's a widow also, has 4 sons. I have daughters. So we have a lot of interesting things that we talk about there. And I didn't do my 2 hours every morning of uninterrupted devotional time. And I didn't sleep as well. That was one of the things that I was tracking for myself, first of all, but for everybody else here. And I had proof in my evening journals that, oh my gosh, I started sleeping through the night, sleeping peaceful, waking up refreshed, ready to go. And I felt that way throughout the day, energized and ready to go. Well, now I've got proof the other way also, at least a few days proof. It's still a pretty new experiment, I guess, if that's what I can call it. But it's still pretty new. But so far, it's pointing to what I suspected. So I'm thinking then, first of all, I'm thinking about the doggone muffler and knowing that, I'm getting ready to have my house renovated. Many of you know that. By the way, I don't mean to distract you by constantly moving my bangs aside, but I'm also in the middle. I'm in the middle of a bunch of things. I'm also in the middle of trying to grow my bangs out. I don't really know about that process because I've had bangs just about my whole life, but it's really awkward right now. And I even noticed in my last several videos, I've got bangs hanging down in my eyes. So I'm due to visit my hairstylist here soon. And I thought maybe I'd take you along to that also and just see how, as a retired woman, what do we do with our lives? What is it like to go through a day in the life? So, and I also told you that you'd probably get used to me being very random. So, in the middle of me kind of being thinking about my muffler and not really looking forward to that, well, let's just talk about bangs for a little minute in the middle of that whole thing because I can feel them slipping into my eye, which makes my eyes itch. So, anyway, I didn't make the appointment for the muffler yet because after experiencing this time in Rochester and really knowing um, that I don't have a plan and I don't have a strategy for how I'm going to steward well and sustain that morning time. However, the friend that I stay with is the one who has motivated me to even start a journal. As a matter of fact, she's an artist and she creates journals and she does all kinds of artwork, and she even uses the most magnificent fountain pens, has a collection of them and a collection of marvelous inks because she has so mastered the art of journaling. And she even invited me into, when I'm doing my journaling and this is her saying, when she's doing her journaling and she's doing her morning time, I can have freedom to use the space at her table, use a spot in her living room, stay in my bedroom that I sleep in when I'm there, and take that time. However, I find myself wanting to visit with her, share ideas with her because I live alone. And I just look forward to having company and that time. We're both coffee drinkers. And I find myself feeling that spending that time with her in the morning and having coffee and just sharing about life and different ideas. Well, our conversations are spiritually themed and definitely intentional with purpose. It's not just casual gossip about, what this person did or what that person's doing. It's not that kind. And I'm not judging anybody's conversation. We all get the freedom to talk about whatever we like, and I love that. I love that we're all so very different. But in the case with me and my friend in Rochester, those are the conversations we have. They're pretty heavy. We're both in ministry school. We have similar books that we read. And so we have pretty cool discussions on very particular topics. And I love it. I love sitting in the morning and having coffee and talking about these things. And so then I have to decide, is that a trade off that feeds my soul and that helps me to maintain that peace that all of us here on this YouTube channel have discussed about guarding that time so that we can be people that are overflowing with an atmosphere of calm and of peace. And we're not going out there being people that are stressful or anxious or worried, and that we portray that type of attitude to others. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? If you're somebody that travels and spend times away, does it um, change your daily routine and the way that you do things? Are you one that's able to incorporate your daily routines into different settings and different places that you're at? I'd love to hear. And if you have a strategy and you are able to sustain your regular daily routine, I'd love to hear how that goes for you and how you work that. And so I just am now aware of it now. So the important part about sustaining that peaceful lifestyle and that peaceful attitude is, I didn't drive home until Thursday, yesterday. I normally drive home on Wednesdays, but my tire appointment was Thursday morning. And so also forecasted for where I live up north. Remember, I'm 300 miles away from home. They were having beautiful weather down there, but we were having a forecast starting at 2 o'clock that afternoon that we were going to have 3 to 6 inches of snow. And it was going to come in random snow squalls, little blizzards, and then blowing intensely. So I was thinking about trying to get home also. About 2 hours into my drive, there was a random snowstorm in about south central Minnesota as I was making my way home. And all of a sudden, there was a snow squall there. And so snowplows were out on the road, putting down sand, putting down ice, putting down the things that they put down. And wouldn't you know, just shortly after, I went by a plow and I was driving along on a freeway and there was several cars in front of me. And all of a sudden there was like this mini explosion that took me completely by surprise. And right there in my line of vision was a little spider vein crack on my windshield where the car ahead of me had kicked up a little rock from the snowplows. And now I had a break or a crack or whatever you call it in my windshield yesterday on my way home. And so you can tell even by my conversation about it now, I was like, what the heck? What's going on? Why are these things happening this weekend while I'm gone? And trying to process the things with my car and then the things with me not taking my time to be still and to be quiet. And I don't know about you if you're noticing this, but I noticed there it was, giving up my peace, giving up my time to just get myself um, emotionally and spiritually calm. So, whatever happens during the day, I'm ready. So, those things happened while I was gone. So, I got home late last night, set my alarm, slept okay, set my alarm, got right back into my daily routine this morning, even though I had to work today. And I work in the morning also. And oh my gosh, what a world of difference it makes. It makes such a difference, you guys, what we do with our time and how we manage our time. Now, I don't want to keep beating this thing and spending time uh, like this going over and over and over. But we're certainly seeing a pattern here. I am in my life. Hopefully, you guys are in your life too. And so, sharing these strategies and what are we going to do to maintain these types of things that bring peace, that bring calm, and allow us to bring that out into the marketplace wherever we go. So when I go to have my bangs fixed or my hair fixed, I'm not bringing all of this anxiety and all of this complaining, griping stuff to my hairdresser, who's a young mother, a new wife, and carries enough of that stuff herself, but also even mentions how peaceful things seem when we have visits together. So that's what I mean by the overflow. These kinds of things that we have the opportunity in our golden years to share with others. And so this week, I'd love to see us wrap up being intentional to zone in on our daily routines that we've established to keep this piece going. But as we continue to talk about other subjects, to actually display that piece, to live out that piece, to walk out that piece wherever we go. And then if you find that you're having difficulty or you're struggling with it in any way, then we get to talk with each other about it in our community here on the overflow so that we know that we're living our golden years to the absolute best that we can. What I'd really love to dig in next week when I meet with you guys again is finances. I'd like to talk about, we're starting 2026. We've got 12 months ahead of us to really soar financially, just fly in financial freedom, or can't or paying off debt. If that's your situation, I can tell you all last year I worked hard following another YouTube channel person that teaches velocity banking. I have two credit cards that I use. I use one for my everyday shopping, and the other one I use for automatic bill payment. And I had both of those were overextended a bit. I mean, more than what I could pay down in a month. And I was determined all of 2025 that I would eliminate credit card debt. I would use those two credit cards exactly for what they were intended for. My Citibank card is intended specifically for just my everyday shopping, groceries, a birthday gift here and there, haircuts, and then my second card is used only for paying automatic bills. Both of those things are money that I'm going to spend in one way or another anyway. So it's not like I'm overspending. As a matter of fact, I buy very few things anymore. And because of my antique booth, which is where I was working today and will be tomorrow again, I do a lot of thrifting, a lot of thrift shopping, and I love living that kind of lifestyle. I'm not a huge, what is that called when a person just wants to shop and have things all the time? Anyway, I'm not that kind of person. I think I shared with you also. I had just started going through major purging before the storm took my house out. And during the process of preparing my house to be gutted, and I had the mitigators come in, I gave most everything away, and the bigger items I sold on Facebook Marketplace. And so I own almost nothing right now. I live in this really small cabin. I'm hoping for only a few more months. So my next video, Monday, this coming Monday, I'm meeting with the contractors that I already told you about that I met with last Monday and agreed to take on my project. Well, they're coming in to do the measurements, to put a lockbox on my door, and to just get the prep work done to start with all of the electrical, the HVAC, the plumbing, just to get all of that in order. And then I'll be meeting with a designer, and I'd love to take you guys along. So, so that's a part of budgeting also. But I'd like to talk about budgeting and what you guys do. Do you do any investing? What do we do at our age? I know President Trump has a lot of ideas out there that I'm hearing about may impact senior income taxes, senior Social Security, uh, interest rates. There's a lot of things happening economically in our nation right now and that impact us. And so, how are we navigating our ways through that? And let's have some conversation about these things. What kinds of those things do you find are trying to give you worry? Or what kinds of those things are making you feel excited? And I just started investing myself, and it's something that my late husband, and I never did together. And so it's become pretty exciting for me. So I just wanted to pop in real quick and touch base with you, tell you how much I love this. I'm loving this with you guys. And sorry for not posting on Wednesday. I'm not sure that Wednesdays are going to work at all, but to tell you that Mondays and Fridays are looking really good. They're days that I have pretty open normally, and it's a good way to start the week, and then it's a good way to end the week together also. So, once again, my name's Roxanne. This video YouTube channel is called The Overflow. If you ever want to share or try to find me, you can type the overflow Roxanne Wimme. My last name is spelled Wimme. The overflow Roxanne Wimme, and it should come right up. I love having you here. I love having you share, and I love reading your comments. So thanks once again for joining me here, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Until then, bye.